Hey everyone, it's Yayuna, and today I'm coming at you from the Oregon State Hospital. Now this is a working hospital still. It used to be an institution. I think it really actually still is an institution, but this is also the place where the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was filmed. So let's get ready to go and explore, shall we? Let's go. It's still used today, and thinking of my friend Brad from Westphalia Chronicles, they actually have some disc golf that is done here. There's some tennis courts. It's a beautiful, beautiful campus. A lot of sad history here, and we might get into that information later on as we walk around and find out more. But let's go check it out. I was told that the museum is here underneath that cupola. Let's go. Here, trees are beginning to change colors. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so excited. My first fall in 20 years. Talk about beautiful. So beautiful. And there's a fountain. Here, let's get a picture of this place. Let's go check out the museum. Now, I've seen different where it says it's $4 to get in. Other places says it's $5. We will find out right now how much it is. At the entrance it says, "What we think and understand about mental health affects how we design buildings. It looks how treatment methods have impacted architectural design of the Oregon State Hospital." Oh, and there was a new exhibit that was open. Let's go check it out. Oregon's State Hospital was opened in 1843, and it was based upon laws of the Iowa Territory. And I'll go slowly on this stuff so you can read it. So, certificate for the boarding of a lunatic, 1845. That way you can pause this as you like. In 1861, the Oregon Hospital for the Insane or Hawthorne Asylum opened in Portland, 1861. And so this whole room is set up with a timeline. And I was just given a quick, brief overview of it. So, come to find out. So the area where the movie itself was filmed has been torn down. Wonk, wonk, wonk. There's a spot where I can go and look over, which we will. And because there was a spot in the movie, and later when we get there, I'll look it over and then I'll insert a clip from the movie, what that was. They do have props from the movie here, but other than that, it was torn down. So, but this is still a really, really interesting little place. So let's go check it out, shall we? And the exhibits are hands-on unless it says do not touch. You can touch anything. You can open drawers, you can look at stuff. So that's pretty awesome. So as I'm reading, I see that there was actually not only individuals who lived here, but also staff lived here from reading. And oh my goodness. The American Psychiatric Association was founded in Philadelphia in 1844. And, so we had the start of the Civil War in 1861, the Battle of Gettysburg, 1863, end of the Civil War, 1865. So let's look. And as you can hear, there's people upstairs having a party, but it's okay. Oregon Insane Asylum opens in Salem in 1883. That's this building. Pretty much all that's left is what we're in right now. That's original. Cottage Farm was purchased in 1890, 640 acres, mainly self-sustained, had spaces on the ground for fruits, vegetables, pigs, cows, and chickens. And here's October 1st, 1895. It looks like the individuals who worked here. Salem, Oregon. So, Alaska contract. Oh, they were contracted to provide care for the Alaska Insane at $20 per month per patient. Wow, and it lasted until the 1960s. 59 years. EOS was built at Pendleton to provide services to communities. Unclean remains established an asylum and cemetery to bury individuals who died at the hospital but were never claimed by their relatives. And I think it's still here, so we will go and walk there and pay our respects. Health beverage. Oregon became officially dry state in 1916. Alcoholism was seen as a mental illness. Eugenics was created to prevent the procreation of certain classes in Oregon and forcibly sterilized more than 2,500 Oregonians during its run. So eugenics is the selection saying, okay, this group of people should not procreate, should not have babies. So like if a person had, not that they call it autism then, but autism, or if they had Down syndrome or an intellectual disability, they would be sterilized so that they would not have children. Sad, very sad. Okay, this is what the property looks like, or it used to look like back then. Across the street, I think that building's the one that's left. All the other ones were knocked down. A lot of buildings were, so this is the original, what it used to look like. This, okay. It's been cut up, and we'll see in another picture, and then there's been additions and everything. So the first patients admitted to the Oregon Insane Asylum were 370 men and women transferred from the private Oregon Hospital for the Insane in Portland in October 1883. Since then, thousands of people have been admitted to this hospital for a wide variety of reasons. And admissions took two forms through most of the hospital's history, civil commitment and voluntary commitment. And before Oregon became a state, the laws provided for the care of those deemed insane by the courts. And any citizen could bring a complaint about another at the county court level and ask the judge to commit that person to public care after a doctor's examination. And civil commitments were made up a majority of all the commitments at OSH until the 1950s. And so today, state and federal laws have changed admission procedures at OSH, and adults are admitted to the hospital only through civil commitment when a court rules that the individual is dangerous to themselves or to others, or vulnerable, or provide for their own basic needs, or through referral when an individual convicted of a crime pleads guilty except for insanity under Oregon law 161.370. So the emergency room.
Well, I would say treatment of mental health started in Portland in 1843.
And it's a self-guided thing, but there's a gentleman that kind of gives you information about what happened. This looks like Elizabeth Myers was 3 times a pioneer. As a young child, she immigrated to the U.S. from England. She entered the Hawthorne Asylum in Portland, suffering from neuralgia, which included 55 attacks lasting 2 days. Neuralgia is a disease that causes nerve pain, and at the asylum she was diagnosed with chronic melancholia. And that actually sounds like fibromyalgia to me, so I don't know if that's true. If anyone knows, if you're sure, could you correct me if I'm wrong, or if I'm right, could you let me know? But it sounds like she was put in here due to fibromyalgia. That's sad. Oregon State Hospital, as of 1988, 335 forensics, 140 geriatric, correctional, 107 children, 73, and general, 70. People sometimes were brought here and committed due to chronic mania brought on by religious excitement, just because he was a holy roller. So it's interactive, and I'm listening to James R. Roblett's story. This is sad. All right, you guys, I just had you listen to a little bit of an excerpt of someone's story that is shared. It's a little bit, like 5 minutes long. It came from something that was written down. It's the story of one gentleman who stayed here at OSH, and the name that was assumed was James R. Roblet. And it's an Oregonian series about the OSH life in 1937. And what you guys didn't hear, and it just brought me to tears, was, they checked people out when they first came in, and a lot of people had issues due to syphilis. And if they weren't too far gone, what they would do is inject them with malaria, so that way it would kill off the syphilis. And then he goes on talking about his first night here, how people were screaming, and he eventually got used to it, and just how he reacted with the doctors, and how his roommate told him how to get along, and that way he'd be able to get out. And then eventually his roommate hung himself. It was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. An old school wheelchair. And so everywhere there's stories about people. This is the story of Dr. Roe G. Gale. This is Frank Lawrence Smith. And so I'll focus on these for a second. You guys can pause them if you want to read them. Very interesting stories. All right. Line over here. So I don't know if this is something we can listen to also. This is something you can listen to. About group therapy and everything, but as you come in, this right here breaks my heart. This is a table where lobotomies were conducted. It says do not touch, but there's a letter right here that lobotomies have passed beyond experimental stage and is now considered desirable by the best medical authorities. This is from September 2nd, 1947. Here, I'll go slowly so you guys can read it. You can pause it. And then the next one. Oh my gosh, you guys, this hurts. This hurts so much. And then here is what they use for lobotomies. Conductive rubber safety, snap-on heels, scissors, things to inject with, honed and tested. It's deep. This is shock therapy, shocking the system. Oh my gosh. For shock therapy, giving them insulin treatments, sedative, insulin, comas, convulsive shock, electric shock. Oh my gosh. So this is what they would use. Oh my gosh. You guys, electroconvulsive therapy. And in some places this is still used to this very day. Insulin therapy. Administered sweetening juice to a patient coming out of insulin coma. Turn off the machine after using it. Mind reading. Electroencephalograph or EEG machine is used to measure brain activity. Oh my gosh, guys. A hot comb used at Fairview. Now Fairview was the other institution, and it was not always the best thing, not always the best place. If you have a chance to come here, if you come to Oregon, I would highly, highly recommend coming here. An old radio. Physiotherapy. Light therapy and massage. This machine of UV light was a treatment option for people. Yeah, because you get, I guess people here, since it's not always sunny, people get depression.